Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to go through the three-step system that has generated $11.2 million of sales for us. And you're going to want to watch this if you are a creator, an entrepreneur, if you sell digital products, heck, if you sell physical products, this will work for you too. This system is going to be super valuable for anybody that's selling products online. Now, we specifically do this largely with fitness creators. But again, the principles are going to apply for anybody who is selling products online. So without further ado, let's dive in here. And we call this the three-step challenge and upsell system, right? Again, $11.2 million of sales generated. The first step, there's three steps to this. First step, create a flagship challenge. So low ticket flagship challenge. What is a challenge versus like a general digital product, like a program or a course? A challenge is something that has a start date and an end date. So for example, this lift and burn challenge starts on April 28th and it ends on June 8th. And a challenge, like a low ticket challenge, so low ticket being under $100, right, is kind of what I consider low ticket. So a $60 challenge. What that allows you to do is it creates FOMO and urgency, right? So if you have a course or a program, what people are typically going to do is they're going to say, oh, like I'll just buy that next week, right? I'll buy that next week. I'll buy that next week. And they're always going to buy it next week, and next week never comes. And then 2 months later, they're over it, right? In the fitness world, they no longer want to lose weight. Or in the productivity world, they no longer want to be more productive, right? So challenges are amazing because they create that fear of missing out. There's a start date, there's an end date, there's a community associated with it. And so everybody wants to get in so that they can take part in this challenge with the community. So challenges are crucial and key component of this. So create a flagship challenge. Flagship meaning something that you can reuse time and time again, something that is your best work. It doesn't have to take a ton of time. I mean, in today's world, you can go on ChatGPT and create a digital product really quickly and then turn that into a challenge. But create something that you can run 6 to 12 times a year. And this is going to be super important because these challenges, right? One of the key elements of the challenge is there's this community and everybody's doing it together, right? So you can reuse the same digital content, the same like actual underlying education for your fitness challenge or for whatever product you're offering, and just run that exact same playbook 6, 9, 12 times a year, right? So you could run it once a month. So maybe the first Monday of every single month it starts, or you can run it once every 2 months. Most of our partners are running it, anywhere from 6 to 12 times a year. And sometimes they'll change up certain things from challenge to challenge, but other times they'll literally just run that same challenge, right? So create a flagship low ticket challenge, right? Something under $100 that does not leave out your followers, right? If you're selling something for $1,000 up front, you're going to be reducing the amount of people that are willing to buy from you by a very high magnitude, right? So you want to get as many people in the funnel as possible. And then we're going to remonetize them on the back end, right? We're going to offer them more value and offer and upsell them something on the back end that creates more value for them, but also brings a lot more revenue to us, right? So we'll get there in a second, but step 1, create a flagship challenge, low ticket. Step 2, you want to have a killer sales page, right? How I think of sales pages is from Caitlin Bergeon. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. But she says problem, promise, proof. And I'm going to go over to her product here. She says problem, promise, proof is a great way to get people's attention, right? So shout out the problem. So in her instance, she sells a messaging course, like fixing your messaging. So she says bad messaging kills good products and dreams. That's the problem. The promise is, Painkillers, the AI fuel messaging system for time-crunched entrepreneurs. Uncover your buyer's ouchiest problems and fix your messaging so more people buy, right? So that's the promise. You'll do that in just 3.5 days. And then the proof is right here. I normally find GPT bots to be generic and frustrating, but these custom bots are effing magical, right? So the proof is right there. We do the exact same thing on our challenge landing pages, right? So you find the problem. What's the problem with Cheryl's audience? Well, they want to shed body fat or they're feeling overweight, right? And not confident, right? So we hit home with that immediately. Shed excess body fat, improve body composition, and feel confident in your swimsuit this summer. We give them, that's the promise, right? So we kind of nailed the problem with the promise as well. And then we have proof down here, right? And so we have 400 reviews 400 reviews, right, of people actually, like, these are obviously real reviews at the platform level, right? They're not faked. And you can see those specific reviews. And then you also see transformations, right? So in the fitness world, transformations, reviews are incredible. And you just want to have like a never ending, arguably like a never ending carousel, right, of these reviews and these transformations, as many as you possibly can. Obviously, you don't want like 5,000 transformations here, probably. You want to make sure you're having your call to action buttons. But you want to be showing as much proof as possible. So think about that with your course or with your product as well, or your challenge rather. Think about that and how can you get the actual proof from people? How can you get reviews? How can you get transformations? Again, if you're selling something else, how can you get those reviews or those transformations that you can put on your landing page? Because those are going to be crucial, right? Those are going to help take your conversion on these pages from 2, 3, 4% to 8, 9, 10%. And we have some people converting at 15, 20% on $50, $60 products on these landing pages here, right? And you'll notice the same structure applies for everybody, right? You want to have that proof. That proof is crucial, right? So proof is absolutely crucial when it comes to these landing pages. And again, you'll see it right here as well with another one of our partners. 383 reviews, transformations, right? So these are crucial. So problem, promise, proof, have a killer landing page that converts. What does it allow you to do? It allows you to get as many people as possible into this low ticket funnel, right? Get as many buyers as possible that are going to be part of your email list. They're going to be buying from you forever and ever and ever, as long as you deliver. And then step 3, have a premium upsell, right? So the upsell can be, smaller, right? It could be like this $60 product. We have a $29 upsell here. So we're converting, instead of just getting people to buy $60 from us, they're buying, $89 if they take us up on this upsell. For Laura Lee, she's 60. She has another upsell here for $22. D has an upsell here from 40 for another $24, $23.80. So all of these upsells, right, are going to allow you to capture more revenue for each customer. And then you can even have additional upsells on the back end that might be bigger upsells, right? So after people purchase, perhaps they are buying access, or you give them some special deal for access to like your annual membership. And that annual membership maybe retails for $200, $300. Or in some instances, you could even sell like higher ticket packages on the back end, right? $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 packages. But what you're doing with this, kind of lower ticket, we call it again the challenge and upsell system, this lower ticket challenge up front is creating tons of urgency, tons of fear of missing out. And it's at a price point that anybody can afford, right? Then you hit them with a little bit of an order bump with something that's complementary, right? So in Cheryl's instance, we're giving them a nutrition guide to go with the challenge to help them get the best results, right? And we talk about that right here. So they can add that on. So we've increased their purchase amount a bit. And then for Cheryl, we continue to monetize them with email funnels for future programs, future challenges, things like that. But you could also, again, add on bigger ticket upsells, like an annual membership, or even a monthly membership that people are continuing to pay for over time, or bigger packages, right? So those things are crucial. So I'm actually going to jump over to the app real fast so you can see inside what it looks like. But if you, for example, in Laura Lee's instance, she has her Project 2024 Dream Body, and inside what she's doing, she has a community in here, and she has that same special offer up at the top of her community, right? So it's literally pinned to the top so that people can go ahead and tap there. And Laura Lee is already, she's already purchased it, right? So this is an account that already has this access, but if not, it would allow you to purchase right there, right? So Laura Lee's done a great job actually including that upsell in her community on the back end as well. But again, you can imagine here you're upselling an access to your annual membership or access to, a $500, $1,000 product that maybe has like a video from you as well, right? So you could do that. In addition to that, you'll see when it comes to getting reviews and transformations, again, Laura Lee does a great job actually having people submit their transformation photos right in the app. So she's using the Solin platform for that, and you'll see at the beginning and the end, you can submit your before and after photos, but then she'll get access to those and she'll be able to use those as proof, as testimonials, right? So just wanted to give you guys a quick example of how you can continue to continue to upsell on the back end, actually when delivering your product, and then also continue to get great reviews, great transformations from what you're doing. So those are the 3 steps, right? Just quickly to recap, what we have here. Step 1, create a flagship funnel, or flagship challenge rather. lower price product, something that allows you to ultimately have and get as many people as possible in there. Step 2, have a killer sales page. If you're driving 1,000 people to that sales page, you don't want to be converting just 10 of them, right? You want to be converting 50, 100, 150, right? So conversion is a killer when it comes to just bleeding money for your business, right? You're bleeding money if you don't have high conversion, if you don't have a killer sales page, if you're not following, showing the problem, giving a promise and providing proof. And then have a premium upsell on the back end, right? Could be a little bit of a lower ticket, like what I've shown you on these examples, or you could sell something higher ticket, something recurring, something annual. What that allows you to do is create urgency, get more customers, and ultimately provide more value and increase your customer LTV, right? So your customer lifetime value. That's something that we take a big look at here at Solin. And so, like an example, let me just quickly show you guys what you want to be doing with your customers is you want their average spend to be increasing over time, right? So this is just an example here from some numbers on Solin, but the average spend in for these customers, right, over the first 24 hours is like, $40 here. But all time, these customers are spending $170. That's because of like upsells and subscriptions and products like that, right? In this instance, first 24 hours, you're spending $31, all time, $254, right? So these numbers might not mean a lot to you, but the bottom line is what you want to be optimizing for is getting people to spend more money on that first purchase and then continue to provide value and getting them to spend more over their lifetime with you, right? So it just shows you kind of the importance of getting more people into the door with that lower ticket, ideally challenge-based model, and then over the long run, continuing to remonetize them with these premium upsells. And ideally, you want to be remonetizing them as quickly as possible because you're providing so much value and offering something that's super complementary to that challenge. So hopefully that's super helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button if this has been helpful for you. And we are excited to catch you guys the next time.